Are you currently sitting in a wounded feminine energy? And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, but you're interested, stay all the way through and I will help you heal out of wounded feminine energy and ultimately claim your true, authentic, divine feminine self. I am Kanisha with Peace, Love, and Faith, and I will also be holding a divine feminine workshop starting this Friday, July 19th at 3 o'clock p.m. PST to 4:30 PST. It's a 90-minute workshop. I will touch on the first Friday, we'll go over wounded feminine energy, and I will open up the last 45 minutes to an hour to heal through those wounds using the mirror exercise. And then the 26th, we'll go over feminines being in their masculine energy, what characteristics that look like, and then helping you move out of that space by healing those blocks and upsets as well. And then on the 2nd of August, which will be the last day of the workshop, that is going to be relaxing into your divine feminine energy, what characteristics those are, and how to really embrace and embody that energy. And so if you're interested in that, check out the link below. It's only $55.55 because 555 means change and we're transforming, okay? So if you want more support in that space, I would love to see you there. They're all recorded if you can't make that time, and that way you can go back and watch them at any given moment and continue healing in that space as well. So I look forward to seeing you guys there. Let's go ahead and jump into this video, and I'm going to touch on the characteristics of a wounded feminine and really help you start to see if this is the energy that you're currently in, because we want to heal that divine feminine energy, not only to attract our divine masculine and them truly being in their masculine energy, but also attracting the things that we desire. And so some of the characteristics of a wounded feminine is going to be low self-esteem, people pleaser, easily attaches to things outside of herself, can be very manipulative so that things work out in her favor, insecure, ignores your intuition, is hanging out in victim mentality, and also is afraid to speak up and speak their truth. So I have moved through a very wounded feminine energy for a very long time prior to coming to the work of the mirror exercise and the work of Twin Flames Universe, and I'm very grateful that I found it, because I would have continued working through my relationships in that wounded feminine energy. And ultimately, these are things that I took on from my own mother, and it will continue passing down. And so if you desire to have kids and you have a daughter or desire a daughter, this is something that you'll definitely want to heal so that you can pass down healthy characteristics, healthy patterns down to her, and that generational upset of wounded feminines are going to just dissolve. Because when we are in that wounded feminine energy, we naturally attract a wounded masculine, and that is just no fun. So some of the things that we can really look at is when we are maneuvering from a very hurt space. And this can come from not having a healthy relationship with your mother and with your father. These are two things that are very important, but I do find that the wounded feminine tends to come from the mother energy. And so you will find that maybe you had a very non-nurturing mother, a very dismissive, kind of aloof mom, someone who was really in a victim mentality, who is also maybe went through many different relationships in your life, or just really had a very toxic relationship with her own specific person or significant others, what I was trying to say. And so when you really check in with yourself, you will find that this wounded feminine energy that you're holding on to was because your needs were neglected. It wasn't safe for you to speak up and speak your truth. You were probably dismissed a lot. It was also stemming from not having the attention that you desired, and again, not having your needs met, not having someone show up for you in a healthy way. And so I really started to look at this part of myself a little bit deeper within the last few years, especially because I was attracting masculines who were very toxic, and I had to really look at my own patterns and look at what I was attracting, because you attract what you are. And a lot of people have a hard time hearing this, even though it's the truth. Like when it comes to manifesting anything that you desire, we're always manifesting, but you're going to manifest the vibration and what it is that you are in that moment. You can also manifest things that you want, but you will always, for the most part, manifest the things that you are. So if you're manifesting men who are unavailable, it's because somewhere you're unavailable towards yourself. If you're manifesting things that are just not working out for you, it's because somewhere within yourself you believe things do not work out in your favor and that you are not going to receive your good. There's all these different self-concepts and beliefs that you're holding on to that ultimately aren't a healthy divine feminine energy or a healthy mindset, a healthy concept about yourself. And so low self-esteem can look like jealousy, feeling like you have to compete against other people, believing that someone could take your good from you, all different kinds of things that ultimately are telling you that you can't have what you want, that you're not enough, that you're not worthy. That all stems from low self-esteem. And that's okay if you're moving through that. Have deep compassion for yourself, because it is something that you can heal. Now that you have that awareness, you can make a new choice to recognize, this is a low self-esteem thought process, or this isn't a very kind, loving thought process. This is stemming from a very wounded part of myself. People pleaser, when you are making sure that everyone else is taken care of over yourself, this is a very fast way to create resentment and anger in relationships and have a very unbalanced relationship, because you're giving so much more instead of actually giving to yourself and then letting your cup overflow into other people. When you're giving so much more to specifically relationships or to a divine masculine, you're now stepping into the masculine energy, which we'll talk about in the next video, but you are giving more instead of receiving. And so as the feminine, her natural state of being is being and receiving. And so if you find yourself overgiving, you're probably in a space of people pleasing. And I found that I did this out of making sure that everyone else was happy so that my environment was safe so that I could feel safe. So this was my way of manipulating the situation unconsciously in order to make sure that I felt safe in my environment. So if everyone else was taken care of, then I had nothing to worry about. But ultimately what I found about that is that everyone else was taken care of and I was not, and then I felt depleted and not loved and cared for. When you easily attach, so easily attaching to people or places or things outside of you, mostly people, I found that because I came from a childhood where I really did not have my needs met, excuse me, I did not receive the attention, and if I did, it was not good attention. And so with this, when I would have someone come into my life and they would love me the way I wanted to be loved, I would attach to them. And I would want to control and be stay with me. And then I would have this fear of being abandoned. And then I ultimately would cut off the life force to that relationship. And I would also be seen as too needy because I was trying to continuously get that love that I had gotten, because I hadn't gotten it when I was a child. And so one of the things you're going to want to do is really start to give yourself that love that you desire instead of attaching to something or someone outside of you and looking to them as your source to give you that love that you desire. And then again, insecure. Any place where you're feeling insecure, any place where you believe that you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not deserving. These are all lies. I like to call these lies of the devil. That's lies of ego. That is not true. You were created worthy, deserving, enough, whole and complete. And so as you heal these insecurities within you, one of the things I'm learning about being in my union with my twin flame is that I thought I had all these places healed, and then I get into this healthy relationship with my twin flame and it starts to trigger some of these insecurities. And luckily I have the mirror exercise. I'm very aware of my feelings. I can see where it's stemming from. I can move through them. Sometimes we speak about them because we both have to work through insecurities, and we do have a safe and vulnerable place for us to work through them. But for the most part, the insecurities, and not for the most part, for all of the part, insecurities are lies, so you don't have to give any energy to them. And that comes to ignoring your intuition. And so your ego will try to tell you that you have reasons to be insecure, but your intuition and your higher self are going to tell you, no, you are the only one in your reality that you need to focus and worry about. You are top priority. You are enough. You are loved. You are chosen. You are deserving of everything that you desire. You are love. You are loved. And you are loving. And so when you are having these insecurities come up, it's very easy to ignore your intuition and to ignore your higher self. Your intuition is always guiding you. For divine feminines, it's like your secret superpower. Your intuition is something that you really want to genuinely, like, deeply develop, and allow yourself to really start trusting that, because that is going to call in a whole bunch of opportunities and abundance and things that are in alignment for your highest good. All right. Victim mentality. I was in that for a very long time. I have compassion for my victim mentality girls. I promise you do not have to live there for the rest of your life, but you have to make a choice. And when you have the awareness that you're sitting in victimhood, so this is like blaming other people, saying things like, well, if they wouldn't have done this, then I wouldn't feel this way, or looking to other people to just ultimately make you feel better. Anywhere where you're blaming your past, or I used to say this a lot, like, yeah, I grew up with military stepfather who wasn't very loving, and this, like, he did his best, like, but who wasn't very loving, and this is why I act the way that I act. And then I realized that's a victim mentality. Like, I can let my trauma run my life, or I can truly choose to forgive and let that go and trust that forgiveness is for me. It's not for the other person, and really allow myself to let go of the story of my past, because if I keep holding on to that victim mentality, I keep recreating that in my reality. And then last but not least, afraid to speak up. Now, this is a big thing, especially in the world where we live in more of a predominantly masculine leadership world, where it's hard to speak up and feel like you're going to be heard and received. But ultimately, when you are truly in your divine feminine power and you're able to speak up and really share yourself, it's very attractive to the masculine. And so you're going to really want to allow yourself to look at the places where you keep yourself small and you don't speak up out of fear. And I like to remind people that fear stands for fake evidence appearing real. And so that means that all of these things are here. Ego is here to, like, keep you safe and keep you small. But in truth, ego doesn't exist, because you are not created with an ego, and that is man-made. And so when you let that go and realize that ego is the physical representation of, physical manifestation of separation from God, you'll realize that you don't have to give into ego anymore. And so these are just some of the characteristics of a wounded feminine. I will go deeper into truly healing these at the core in my workshop. So if you're interested in healing in that space, that would be fantastic to have you there. And I really love that I can go deeper into those spaces. And this video, it would take way too long. And so if you feel called to do that, know that that's an alignment for you, and your soul is ready to heal those things that are coming up. But you do not have to live in a wounded feminine energy. You can really start to thrive instead of surviving in your reality, and you will start to see things shift and change. And you can see it within my videos. If you go back to the beginning to where I'm at now, oh my goodness, like, it's from night and day, because I really chose to go within and do the inner work and find that inner child of mine who's beautiful and precious and just wanted to be loved and get the attention that she truly deserved and desired, and really give myself everything that I need there, and recognize that I don't have to live in this space of wounded feminine. Now, it does not mean that these things won't come up here and there, but I know how to move through it instead of allowing it to take over and get into the driver's seat. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have questions or a topic that you want me to touch on, definitely comment down below. I do have openings for my group coaching as well. I'm taking on new clients, but I know this video is going to be helpful for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I love your beautiful faces, and I will see you guys soon. All right, bye-bye.